There is one very powerful technique that I use with my clients in order for them to develop a secure attachment style. I will explain in this video this technique. You can use it at home. Feel free. This is my gift to you. It's usually the only thing that you need if you master this technique. I will explain everything after the jingle.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
As you know, one of my mantra is knowing is growing, and this is why you're watching this video. So I'm super glad that you're tuning in. The challenge sometimes is that knowing is not enough. Most smokers know that smoking is bad for them. Most smokers want to stop. They get the concept of smoking is bad for me, but they don't take action. So I really hope that by the end of this video, you will take action. Because the reason I'm making those videos as simple as that is, there's an element of educational aspect. But when you teach something, when you share something to someone, you hope that that person will take this on board and not just like, oh, that's a great idea, but like, how can I use this piece of information to change my life? Because that's what we're talking about, is how you can change your life with this very simple technique. And so the thing is, you have to understand that the way we learn, the way we change, sometimes is limited to our cognitive ability. And as I said in the intro, and this is not a lie, this technique works all the time. It's just a question of being disciplined in how you implement this technique in your life. There's a very important disclaimer though. This video doesn't replace one-to-one counseling. This approach is used in the treatment of PTSD. The whole point is not to say this will replace any form of therapy that will help you to deal with trauma, PTSD. But I'm borrowing this technique for you to learn. I see it as a gate, an entry point. It's very important. If you have had abusive, traumatic experiences, you will not feel better just by watching video. If you have an insecure attachment style and want to learn and want to develop a secure attachment style and want to feel better, that could help. Would that be enough? It depends on, how deep those things are in your mind, in your soul, in your body. Because body is very important, and this is what we'll discuss today. So it's something that I use with my clients, but I wanted to first of all explain a study to back this up. The body-oriented trauma therapy. In this study, they look at about 83 articles and studies about the effect of somatic experiencing and body-oriented trauma to address and inform how we can help people to deal with traumatic experiences, but also reframe the cognitive response. And it's called the bottom-up approach. The idea is to focus on the body, as the body will remember things from our past. So body, emotion, memories. So the bottom up, from the body, mind up. Traditional therapy is up to bottom, bottom down. Traditional therapy is like looking at a stream of a river and trying to change the course of the stream, talking about it upstream. The point of bottom up is to address the rocks and the obstacles that are causing the river to flow. Okay, so it's not that one is better than the other one. I find it very helpful and more efficient, and in a way kind of fast. Because the problem with talking therapy is it could take months or years of therapies to really figure out what's going on. With this body-mind approach, in half an hour, you'll get a clear understanding of what's going on. And that's my approach to therapy. It's not about how can I necessarily build a long-lasting relationship with my clients. It's about how can I deliver the biggest value, the biggest impact in the shortest amount of time. And of course, I'm obsessed about things that work. So sometimes we know things take time, but it's not a question of, okay, I assume that it will take time. No. I'm very much a believer of Pareto principle, focusing on the 20% of that deliver 80% of the result. So let me tell you a story. It's a story of a little boy in his bedroom. That little boy is me. When I had a fight with my parents or disagreed or had a bad mark, my response was to avoid conflict. And my safe space would be to run inside my room, to avoid conflict, not dealing with things face to face, not being confrontational. Because I knew when I was in my room, my parents would respect my space and wouldn't bother me. Even worse, I found out that if I sleep, my parents would never wake me up. And so sleeping is my escape. For many years, I thought, oh, there's a problem, I'm going to sleep. It's very weird, but that's how I responded to fight and sort of confrontation. And so when this happens, when I felt like going in my room and wanted to escape in a way, I remember vividly this weight in my chest. And a little bit like paralyzed, I'm not able to talk, I'm not able to express myself, I'm silent, and the only thing is out of my bubble. This is how I felt. So this physical sensation, the weight on my chest. Okay? As an adult, this is how I feel when I'm triggered. As an adult, it's exactly the same way I feel when I disagree with someone, when I'm about to have a difficult conversation, when I'm scared about something. I have this weight in my chest. And this is how it works. The trigger is the world, is your partner, is your boss, is people around you, whatever. You can't control those things. The physical sensation, and this is why you have to pay attention, it should be distinct, unique, very much. Some people will feel like, I remember a client told me the other day, I feel like I'm about to throw up. Or another one that was like migraine, or could be like even pain in your legs. It's very unique and distinct. This physical sensation, then, after that comes a reaction. Because I feel this weight in my chest, I'm gonna react in a certain way. Right? Either it's because we want to avoid the pain, or because this is just like, when I feel this way, I always do this. What we are trying to do here is to replace the reaction. Right? When I don't hear from my partner, I feel something in my chest and I make up scenarios in my head. We want to replace this. The trigger is not something you can change. The reaction you can change. And the reaction will dictate actions and results. And this is what we will implement. As soon as we change the reaction, we change the result. In the example I gave, the result is that I'm not going to harass my partner or my ex when they don't reach out, because I know there are other reasons for them not to reach out. So I want us to do it together. Let's do this. I want to ask yourself the question, when was the last time you felt triggered by your partner, your ex, or a situation? And I want you to, and it shouldn't be long, that's why I love this exercise. 10 minutes should be enough for you to, close your eyes and figure out how you felt physically. Notice this sensation, do a body scan. And once you have this clear, distinct sensation, figure out a time when you were a child when you felt exactly the same way. Trust me, there's a time. And the whole point, which is very different to therapy, to talkative therapy, is I don't need you to find out and list all the events in your life when it happened. I don't care. I just need one. Find this event. And I would love for us to use this video and share our stories and see how you felt after doing this technique. So let me know in the comment section the sort of event and how you feel. It'd be interesting as well for me to understand the different physical sensations that people feel. So as I said, it's the Pareto rule applied to therapy. I just need one event. And this event is your mental cue, visual cue. So I know when I feel this way, I'm this little boy who's choosing to avoid conflict, who's thinking, if I sleep, the world will be fine when I wake up, right? And so you don't need 30 minutes of meditation every single day, being super mindful, doing 10 hours of yoga per week. Focus on this. Focus on understanding your body when you're triggered. And when you feel this way, understand this is my call. Okay, I'm an adult now. I need to change the response, right? Because right now you're watching videos. So you're not a kid who doesn't know anymore what's right, what's wrong, who doesn't understand how he or she responds to stress, or doesn't understand the social complexity of, human interactions. Now you can make up your own decision. Now you can choose your response. And so the whole point is to be from physical to cognitive. Remember, I'm triggered. I can take control of my narrative. I don't have to react this way. I am not this kid anymore. I like the image of that kid, the 6-7 years old. And yes, it's a little bit of inner child work. But again, that work could take weeks and months. The whole point here is to inform yourself right now and have this visual cue of that child, that kid who's trying to, get the validation from their parent, who's distressed because their parent left. And usually we have an image. This is your cue. And when you feel this way, this is how you can start the cognitive reprogramming, by replacing those negative thoughts by positive ones, by constructive ones, by ones that are realistic. Obviously, it's easier said than done. It's like anything in psychology. In order to do it efficiently, it's about how you can embed this in your life. And it's important for you to find the right accountability framework, whether it's through discipline, finding a buddy, finding someone. I would like you to, after you watch this video, and perhaps if you commented on the video, ask yourself in 1 week if you've really implemented it. Because after you watch this video, you won't feel better by watching more videos, including mine. You'll feel better if you are obsessed on this one. You'll feel better if whenever you feel this way, you're able to change the response. It's an exploration. We don't know what's going on after, but it's the starting point. And what I do with my clients on my WhatsApp clients, I always share them this tool, and together every single day or every now and then we discuss about this. When was the last time? Let's have a discussion. And by having a discussion with someone, could be a therapist, could be a friend, could be whoever, you'll be able to reprogram and distance yourself from this automatic response based on a response from a child. And we had our fears when we were younger. The whole point is like, no, now you're an adult, you know better, and you can change this. This is the theory, this is the starting point. Now I want you to figure out the way for you to embed this, to really do the work. It's great to have this idea of having a six-pack, but it's about how, what's the plan? How can you do it? It's important for you to assess this. We're running a program in the next few days. Have a look in the description if you're interested. This is what we also do in this program. So I will share this technique and we will discuss about that over the course of 8 weeks, which is enough to make significant progress, to feel way more confident and more secure in your relationship. 8 weeks is not about being totally secure in 8 weeks, because I feel nobody is totally secure. You will always be anxious. I will always be avoidant. The point is, how can I learn my limitation? How can I choose consciously that I don't want to be avoidant in this situation? Because sometimes it's good to be avoidant and sometimes it's great to be anxious. There's just finding this sort of versatility. And that's what we will discuss in this 8-week program. If you have any other question, don't hesitate to email me, and I'll see you next time. Take care.